situations, Allie, one that you can relate to, goes on in South Boston right now, where people dig out their parking spots and label them, claim them with like a lounge chair, a cone, a lamp, whatever they get. And it's starting to get ugly now in South Boston.
People are starting to take that, to co-opt that plan and do it here. All right, meanwhile, there's still some more news for you. Here are the rest of you.
You
know he has that same hairdo. He has that same swoop.
That quaff. Let's go back to the Rendell stuff.
We'll also call him MVP after this year is finished.
Let's go back to the Rendell stuff right out. They had another seat next to him that he sat next to the pile of snow.
That was also his seat. I mean, they were.
But he seems to be taking it in good humor. All the
governor was saying is that it's only a foot of snow. Let's play would've. We know Pennsylvania.
Getting on the road.
Only a foot of snow?
Driving from, people are coming from the suburbs, 95. It would have been an absolute mess.
But wussification of America.
An important story now for all cell phone users.
Good morning. It's not a weekend morning. Gretchen, Brian, and Steve are off. Dave Briggs, Clayton Morris, Alisyn Camerota filling in.
That's right. They are still buried under a couple feet of snow, Steve, Brian, and Gretchen, so we couldn't get them out. But we managed to get here. The effects of this massive East Coast blizzard still being...
So that's what's happening here in New York. People are getting very angry, and we'll tell you about who they're angry at and why they're so angry. But all throughout Europe, there is anger at airports. The anger could boil over like it has there in Moscow. We don't normally handle things quite that way by rioting, but you can imagine if you are stranded at an airport without being able to get out, that at some point, right now we just show pictures of people looking despondent and sleepy as though they've given up, but at some point it could tip to anger. I mean, you just don't know. That could be a vision of things to come, but I don't know that well, sure, maybe bribes would work here too to get your luggage off. Here's the deal. New York's response has been criticized.
And what Dave was just talking about in Brooklyn, some of these
were doing the best they could. They were really trying, and some of them performed, I mean, yeoman's work. There were reports of them running down the street, just holding stretchers in their hands. I mean, not being able to get to an ambulance, not being able to get to any sort of fire truck that they needed. So they were trying, but it just overwhelmed them. And so the complaint is today from New Yorkers that the mayor, Bloomberg, wasn't prepared, that he should have known the blizzard was coming. And the argument from the city is that the storm warning went out at 4 p.m. on Christmas, when emergency responders and officials were obviously in the middle of their Christmas meal or opening presents, and so it got overlooked. But we didn't have to be this
How does the biggest city in the world,
we
have this great terrorism.
The ambulances, as of last night, still stuck in the snow.
It doesn't inspire confidence for a future emergency. Meanwhile, we have some other headlines for you. That ski vacation that turned into a winter nightmare because the